Shalom, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Icon pushing his truth and enduring in sincerity and charity. The title today is Diversity and Truth, and the subject is basically concerning brothers that's on the outside looking in at the congregation. You know, the subject is that there's basically a righteous diversity in this truth, and there's a difference between holy doctrine and preference. So this is 1 Corinthians 12 and 14. For the body is not one member, but many. Okay, so when the congregation comes together, the camp, right, it's a part of the body. Okay, so you have different members, right? This is 1 Corinthians 12 and 15, the next verse. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body. Is it therefore not of the body? It's not. It is a part of the body, basically, to answer that. It still is. Just because, you might not be in this field doesn't mean you're not still a part of the body. There's in armies, there's different roles. There's swordsmen, there's shields, there's archers, spears, there's loaders, all kinds of things. Catapults. Everybody has their own role in a function. Verse 16, and if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? It's still a part of the body. The ear is to hear and the eye is to see. So it's going to be brothers in this truth that's different, and this video is really meant to prepare a brother that's on the outside looking in, like, okay, what's going on in the camp? Like, is there's diversity? There's a righteous diversity, we'll say. And I'm gonna get into that. This is Luke 7 and 33. For John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and ye say he hath the devil. Verse 34. The Son of Man is come eating and drinking, but ye say, behold, a gluttonous man, a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom justified all of her children. Of all her children, right? So, brother 2 might be serious, more serious than brother 5, but they both serious for the Lord. So it's everybody has a different level of amount of faith. Your faith and my faith may not be the same amount, but we still have the faith. Okay, so this is Romans chapter 14, verses 1 through 8. I may not go all the way through. But verse 1, him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. And that all things is not talking about what was banned in Leviticus 11. You cannot eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, all of that stuff. This whatever Leviticus 11 tell you, along with the fat. Try to stay away from fat as best possible to the best of your ability. Now, granted, the scriptures say we was gonna eat our bread defiled among the Gentiles, and that's why it says to him that's weak in the faith, one believe that he may eat all things, another who is weak, because we under these afflictions in a situation where we don't have everything perfectly. We can't do everything perfectly. So one who is weak will eat the herbs, and he'll go out his way and get the non-GMO, the organic, and go out his way and be vegan or vegetarian. And now, granted, if you're not going overboard and being too, too righteous or over righteous, it's not off. If you pick up a vegetarian diet for a couple months, it's not off. There's certain ways to work around being yourself without going off. And of course, you have situations like in the Passover, you're supposed to eat like lamb or goat. And that's something to add into. If you on that vegetarian diet, that's one thing that's like, okay, still gotta eat the lamb. But you have situations where you, in your own preferences, sometimes, I go on maybe on the vegetarian diet for a week or something. Because I don't know, meat is feeling too heavy. Some brothers may do it for months. Some mothers probably been like it their whole lifestyle. But granted, to him that is weak in the faith, one that's like, nah, I don't know about all of that. That was, the bread is defiled among the Gentiles, so you can't be too trying to be OR or OCD about it. But granted, you still have, how you say, not leeway, but your own preference as your own brother. So this is verse 3. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth, for Yahweh hath received him. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth, yet he shall be holded up, for Yahweh is able to make him stand. So yeah, who are you to judge another man's servant, as the scriptures say? Verse 5, this is one I really want to go into. One man esteemeth one day above another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So you might keep the Shabbat different than how I keep the Shabbat. That don't mean you're not keeping the Shabbat, because there's still a base level, foundational level. Like, for example, you cannot have sex on the Sabbath. You cannot. Now, granted, you could go and, do chores on the Sabbath, but this brother might not do chores on the Sabbath because he resting. He keeping the Shabbat. Okay, that's not going off. You could what? This brother, like I say, John was fasting, right? John the Baptist came neither eating nor drinking, right? The Son of Man, right? He feasting. This brother might feast on the Sabbath. That brother might be fasting. They both not going off. They both not. It's a preference thing. As long as you keeping the Shabbat, because one esteemeth the day alike, like what the scripture is saying. I might be feasting for the Shabbat. You might be fasting for the Shabbat. You still keeping the Shabbat. But at the same time, there's base laws and statutes that you have to keep in accordance as far as dealing with the standard, upholding that standard. Because at the same time, his faith and your faith, not the same amount, but you still have the faith. That's the standard, basically. So this is verse 6. He that regardeth the day regarded it unto the Lord, and he that regarded not the day to the Lord doth not regard it. He that eateth to the Lord, for he giveth Yahweh thanks, and he that eateth not to the Lord, he eateth not and giveth Yahweh thanks. So just because he fasting and he feasting, and they both keeping the Shabbat, how they, how they prefer it, because that brother might not feast every Shabbat. He might say, okay, this time I want to celebrate the Shabbat this way. And then next Shabbat I'll fast. You don't know how Jake had their own preferences. Some Jake don't, do laundry on the Shabbat. Like, no laundry on the Shabbat. Some Jake might say, it's just my regular schedule. The Shabbat fell on it. I'm just going to take it light. I'm going to do less than 2 loads than I would do for the Shabbat. I do less than the 2 loads because I usually do 4 or 5. Okay, he's still keeping the Shabbat, man. Resting, taking that time off, giving a acknowledgement to the fact that it's a day of rest. Doing whatever you can do in your ability, This is verse 7, for none of us liveth to himself, and no man died to himself. For whether we live unto the Lord. Whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's. So like I was saying, okay, your faith and his faith, not the same amount, but you still have the faith. Whether you live or you die, it's all to the Lord. It's a standard. and the standard is the holy doctrine. And knowing the difference between that and preferences will help you as far as understanding basically how brothers may have different personalities, but we still on one accord. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. Giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honors to the elders apostles, a great millstone. Salutations to Akim pushing his truth. labor in sincerity and charity. Shalom, Kwam Yasharala.